Hey guys, doing? Good to see you guys.
How you doing?
All right.
We talked a lot about Brevin Jordan as an offensive guy. What was he like as a special teamer, and whose opportunities perhaps increased with Brev being out on special teams?
Yeah, gonna miss Brevin. Gonna miss the spirit, the football spirit. Quick little tidbit, got a great affinity and relationship with Brev. Training camp meeting number one, and all right, close your eyes, get a visual rep here. And I heard this kid go, whoa, in the team meeting room. It meant so much for him to come all the way back. And it was a dead silent room, and he just couldn't help himself. It meant so much for him to come back. Those are the football spirit that you want in your players and in your team. He cared so much about the kicking game. He was going to be ideally a four-phase starter. He did an unbelievable job of getting himself back in football shape, playing with the technique. We're going to miss him. Anytime a player goes down of hard work and mindset and playing within the scheme in the right way, it's going to be hard to replace. Next man up. We got a couple new tight ends here working. Got a great group of linebackers, and Brevin was basically a tight end that could play like a linebacker. That doesn't always happen in our league. That's a unicorn to me. A tight end that can run, tackle, protect, block, communicate, and play fierce. That's a weapon on the special teams. So gonna miss him. We'll pick it up from any of the mid-skill bodies that we have to our disposal. Excited for the new tight ends that got here, and we'll see where they are in a few days. But excited for those two new guys that got here.
Frank, Townsend for year two. What do you see from him now that you guys have had more time to work together and all the cooperation, all that?
Yeah, the number one thing I see from Tommy, I think Tommy's a good punter. I think Tommy's a great punter. Let me rephrase. The number one thing I see from him is leadership mindset. So coming from a good place, had success before. What does change do to you? How do you embrace that? How is a new coach, a new kicker, new holder, new snapper, and it's an important piece of the operation. So I'm just happy with his mindset and the vocal leadership that he's providing. That comes with ownership, leadership, accountability on his own part, and then outward to his teammates and guys like Brinkman and Kaimi that he's working with every day. So for him to, really step that up, hopefully that only channels his on-field play better for him this season. Really happy with where T is at right now.
Frank, could you define, you got your punter, you got your snap, long snap, and you got your field goal kicker. But every year, you sort of have to go to the market and fit in the pieces around that. In your mind, how do you what do you define the specifics to build around that for you? Because the OC got his guy, the DC has his, but you got a sort of the average, you got to bring everything else.
Yeah, I think that's it's such a great question. That is a longer conversation, and the short answer on it is that's an ever-evolving conversation. The NFL roster today is not 53 men. It's 70 men who can be up and down at any given moment. So you have to have your younger developmental players training in the wings to take center stage at any time. Then you have how have you built your depth in your roster? That starts from draft process when I got here in 2021 all the way through training camp additions in 2025. So it's an ever-evolving process. The whole roster has to be built with, number one, football players. I don't care, are you designed to catch a ball? Are you designed to run block? I don't care. You are designed to be a football player if you're playing on fourth down. So for me, it's finding the right mix of the right mindset guys, and anybody that is on our roster come cut down time. And when we get to our final week one game day roster, we'll play with those guys. But as you know, that's going to be different than week 2 and 15 and 17 and so on and so forth. So we've got to have a whole roster of guys ready to go at any point in time.
So what is that from your perspective, when they're making the 53? The offensive guy has an opinion, D'Amico and Caserio decide. How do you make a case for someone that maybe is a special teams guy that doesn't play as much offense or defense? What is your pitch to that?
For sure, yeah. Man, am I a good salesman?
I don't
know. Where's my pen at? Okay, this pen right here. Let me tell you about this pen. It is a truthfully daily. When I mean daily, I mean daily conversation that has to take place. So the roles, and as things are sorting out, all right, this guy's not gonna come off the field first, second, and third down, whether it's O or D. All right, so let's say he gets benched. What can he do for me if he's going to be in a backup role. All right, then he ends up, being a full-time starter. So those guys that have specific roles are kicking game player roles, and I say, here's the best version of that to go win on 4th down. But if they can't play a lick of offense or defense, you're not a football player, and you're not going to be able to then step into a prominent role when we need you on the other side of the ball that is more, we understand we're the third phase. That's okay. But to me, you have to be able to be a first, second, and third down starter at any point in time and be great in the kicking game. And then if you are that, and what is your backup role or one phase, or hey, you're going to be a sub when a guy goes down, we need a full team of guys that can do that. For me, I'm just always evaluating and projecting to Coach Nick Burke, Kaylee Burke, what a role player can do for me, and is he a suitable sub fill-in for you guys when it's needed.
Coach, we know that when you do these joint practices, we know what the offense is looking for, what the defense is looking for. But what is the perspective or the evaluation from a special teams perspective?
Yeah, the biggest thing for us to take away both from the Carolina joints and then upcoming with Detroit is when we go out, we need to truly finish blocks. When you're going against your own and you take care of each other a little bit, nobody's selling out and rushing the punter, we need to strike and finish like it's Sunday at noon. And when you have other guys pinning their ears back, they're not going to pull off, so we need to then finish. Whether that's in punt protection, whether we are rushing and we need to get home, or whether that's in block take on or anchoring if we're on kick return. So for us, the point of attack, finish, and physicality, now you're going against somebody who, they're not going to take care of you a little bit. That's not happening. So for us, it's about who's going to finish at the point of attack, and you can really see that in joint practices. But nothing else is going to leave Sarge. We got to be on it with our communication. We got to be on it with the X's and O's piece, so we're playing within the scheme and playing clean football.
Along the same lines as Randy's question, what is the value of having a guy like Dare that can do a whole bunch of things?
Well, I think, I'm propping up Dare here a little bit, but I think you're talking about a premier level of versatility. Not everybody's going to have that. To me, we all know Dare's kicked a field goal, kicked off, returned kicks, blocked, rushed, almost blocks punt. So he's a unique offensive player that can tackle, that can, shoot his gun and fire to make a knifing tackle, as well as protect, communicate. So that's a pretty high standard. Not everybody's going to start there. Our goal is to get as many backup players on the roster to that level of reliability and communication, and then playmaker after that. So, man, that's a really good pick. I'm glad he stands out to you guys like that. Really happy with Dare Ogunbowale. Proud to coach him, honored to coach him, and we're a better special teams unit the more guys like Dare that attack the 4th down preparation like Dare. So excited with where he is, and we need to get guys every year, every part of the season, OTAs, phase 2, training camp, in season. We need to have guys to be practicing and preparing like him.
Kickoff rules have been altered again to increase returns activity without an increase in injuries. Do you believe that's what we'll see in 25?
Yeah, I think exactly as you said. I think, there's definitely going to be more returns. I don't necessarily know if the advantage has swung to the kick return team by putting more plays in. The advantage is more opportunities, but schematically we'll find out. They've dropped another adjuster, floater, second level player that can be off the line of scrimmage. So there's 3 now. So you can get a little bit more movement, a little bit more influence, blocks and things like that, trap blocks. But, still the space and timing is going to probably be similar to what we know it as from a year ago. There are injuries down. There are the safety is now improved, in my opinion, and I think from all the data, things like that. But I think now it's just volume of plays, which means more opportunities, which means more preparation, and hopefully for us, find an edge. Cool? Thanks, guys. All right. Have a good day.